time. So I'd ask you to keep our country in your prayers. It's great to be here tonight in Waco. I want to give a round of applause to all the hosts that put this together tonight. So let's do that. We're all here tonight for one important reason. We want to restore America's promise, prosperity, and security for our kids and for our grandkids. Today, I believe that America has always faced every challenge it's had and has risen up to face that challenge. Today, however, we face a more important threat to our country and its history. We have an administration and a Congress that, against the will of the American people, has passed an agenda that has brought us to the edge of the cliff. Our current path is unsustainable, trillion-dollar deficits, out-of-control spending, massive government growth, nationalization of private industries, and the destruction of the private sector. The damage that's been done so far may take years to fix, but I'm running for Congress to help fix this mess by installing fiscal discipline, spurring private sector job creation, improving our economy, restoring our social values, protecting this document we call the Constitution, and then, when I'm done, I'll come home. Now, we all agree that there's been a great deal of damage under the Obama-Pelosi agenda, and our number one goal has to be to stop that agenda. Unfortunately, even in our very conservative district, we have a 20-year career politician named Chet Edwards who has consistently supported that agenda, voting with Nancy Pelosi over 96% of the time. Now, where I come from, if you only vote against somebody 4% of the time, you can't go and call yourself independent. Now, career politician Edwards has supported bailouts for banks, for auto companies, and for AIG. And he did all that while he was ignoring Main Street. Incumbent Edwards supported the failed $862 billion stimulus bill. Today, we've spent almost $1.5 trillion, and we've lost over 3 million jobs during the process. It does nothing to improve the fact that today, 1 out of every 6 Americans is out of work. We can do better. Career politician Edwards has supported every single spending bill during the Obama-Pelosi years and has voted over 100 times since 2007 against cutting wasteful spending. Even on Obamacare and cap and trade, Pelosi's lapdog, Chet Edwards, was given permission to vote no on those two bills after it was clear that they were going to pass. We also need to remember that Edwards allowed both of these economically destructive bills to come to the floor for a full vote. And even today, if you ask 20-year incumbent Edwards if he would vote to repeal Obamacare, he says no. Is he really against Obamacare? Can we trust him on this? Edwards also supported the 2010 Obama budget, the most irresponsible budget in history. It includes trillions of dollars in wasteful spending, huge increases in the national debt for our kids and our grandkids. But wait, there's more. This year, he and his Democratic friends in the House decided to not even pass a budget at all for 2011. For the first time since 1974, the House of Representatives is not going to pass a budget. And guess what? He's on the Budget Committee. If you elect me to Congress, I won't sit on the committee and not do anything. I will do the job that that committee is supposed to do. I think we get the picture here that we're all tired of career politicians in Washington that are playing games with our kids' futures and with our money. Now let me tell you what I stand for. I believe America is an exceptional nation, a beacon of hope and freedom for the rest of the world. I believe the men and women who have served or are serving in armed forces have preserved freedom for the rest of us, and we must always ensure that they and their families are cared for. We will always be indebted to our military men and women for their devotion and sacrifice on behalf of our nation. I believe that the American dream is available to every person that wants to work for it. I believe that only in America can a boy born to a modest family in the Texas Panhandle and began working with his father at the age of 9, put himself through Texas A&M University, and through an excellent public education and hard work, be allowed to run a successful company. Fundamentally, I believe in limited government, protecting our social values, and adhering to this Constitution. And to follow up on what Louis said, I believe that we are a nation founded on Christian principles, and that we should not shy away from our fundamental beliefs in God. I believe in peace through strength, and that our nation has an unmatched history of spreading freedom and democracy around the world. I believe energy security is an imperative, both for economic growth and for national security. I believe that we can achieve energy security through an all-of-the-above approach and create good American jobs in the process. I believe that individuals spend their money more wisely than the government. I believe that the best social program ever created by man was a private sector job. That's right. They provide families with housing, food, education. They grow the local tax base. They end reliance on government assistance, and they contribute to growing our nation's economic opportunities. I believe low taxes and fair regulation of employers are the best way to grow those private sector jobs. I believe record deficits and overwhelming national debt are a significant threat to our economy and to the future of our children and grandchildren. I believe that Congress should pass a budget every year, just like families and businesses do. If Congress is unwilling or unable to pass a budget, they should take a pay cut, just like we have to do on the railroad. I believe in term limits. I believe in term limits because we've got to return to the Founding Fathers' notion of citizen legislators that serve their constituents for a short time and then come home and live under the laws that they wrote. I also believe that our legislators should be servant leaders. They work for us. I believe that every life begins in conception. And that every life is a slave. And that every life needs to be protected under the law. I believe that marriage is between one man and one woman, and that needs to be protected. Again, returning to the Constitution, I believe that the Second Amendment is a fundamental right to guarantee all Americans. I want to let you know that Bill Flores is a Christian, an American, a conservative Texan, and a Republican. That's what I believe. Looking forward to the next 100 days, it is clear that we cannot afford Pelosi's lapdog, Chad Edwards, anymore. We must put a check on the Obama administration. We must end the Pelosi Congress. And we can't do that without beating career politician Edwards in November. By every measure, we have the momentum, and we are winning this campaign. Even though Chet doesn't like to admit that, he won't release his post. We are winning this campaign. With your help, we'll beat incumbent Edwards in November.